Hi guys, welcome to this course, how to create videos that goes viral. But my friend, I'll be lying to you if I don't share with you all the secrets and things you need to put in place even before editing. There are many things a content creator must do before editing. For the first part of this video, I'll break down this in just 15 minutes. What you need to look out for, what you need to do before editing for your content to go viral. So guys, stick with me for 15 minutes firstly, and let's go through this together. To create a video that has the potential to go viral, there are 7 components we need to put in place, and these components are very important. Without this component, it's impossible for you to make a video that will go viral. And these 7 components are derived from one of the fathers of video editors named Sam Boda. And he mentioned 7 components that must be present in a video to make it captivating, to make it shareable, and to make it retain audience attention. And when we are dealing with social media, our main aim, what helps the video to go viral, it's when YouTube and other social media platforms notice that the retention in that video is very high and the engagement is very high. Now, what causes engagement, what causes retention? That is when the video have these 7 components, it's become engaging. People tend to watch it for a longer time. And now the first thing is the emotion. Now, emotion carries 51% of the 7 components. Now, without emotion, your video can never connect with them. And if your video is not connecting with them, your video can never go viral. So emotion, being able to touch the emotion is what matters mostly. Now, as a video editor, we have a power to make the viewers think what we want them to think, what we want them to feel at a particular time. Now, if you want to make a video, ask yourself, as a video editor or as a content creator, how do you want your audience to feel while watching your video? Do you want them to laugh? Yeah, you can get some funny beneath, add some funny sound effect, like maybe farting or anything. Yeah, the sound effect, the visuals, and the music as well, it's what brings emotion. So emotion is the first thing that we need to be concerned about. That is what makes a video engaging, and that is what makes someone want to watch a video for a longer time. So emotion is not a one-stand thing. It is derived by the harmony of others we are going to mention in this tutorial. And the first one we're talking about is storytelling. Now, that's the second most important one. Many video editors thought their job is just to sit down with their PC and edit the video, but that's very wrong. Editing starts from scripting. Scripting is the foundation of editing. If your scripting is wrong, if your scripting is not good enough, it will affect your editing. Now, while editing the video, there is a crucial thing I want us to pay attention to, and that is the storytelling approach. Now, a popular YouTuber says something, Prince A by name. He emphasized the importance of storytelling in the video. Viewers love to hear your secret. They love to hear something about you, and they love if you are being honest with them. And the way they will know that is when you talk about your mistake, it's also make them resonate with you better. As a video editor, you must be a good storyteller. And now, how do we write story? Yeah, with the help of AI now, it is far easier to write scripts. We all know ChatGPT is our friend. Okay, as I have said about the importance of storytelling, yes, we have heard about the importance of storytelling in creating viral video, right? But let's be very real. It's not always easy to craft a story that is going to connect with your viewers. It takes time, and sometimes you are stuck not knowing where to start. Okay, that's where ChatGPT comes in. Think of it like this. It's an assistant. You got the idea, but you need to build it into something bigger, a story that actually grabs attention. So you start by typing your idea. Something simple like, I want to tell a story about someone who faces their fear of public speaking. Now, for an example, what happens next is that ChatGPT give you a draft. You take that and make it your own. Maybe you tweak a few things, maybe you change the tone, but now you have got bone of your story. And you're not alone in this process. You can keep going back to ChatGPT until the story feels right. Now, talking of storytelling, the most important area you need to focus on is the hook. The hook makes or breaks the video. If the hook is good enough, it will increase the audience retention. Now, for instance, if I randomly click on your video and I saw some captivating thing that interests me, it will trigger some curiosity in me. And because of that, I can even end up watching the video to the end. But had it been like tap on the video and it was boring to me at first, that first impression matters a lot. So as a content creator, we need to put more emphasis, and this is what big content creators does on either YouTube or other social media platform. Follow this exact step because it's very crucial. It's something that you must never neglect if you want to create videos that goes viral. So, and how do you make the hook? How do you think the hook will be good? Don't forget, the hook is the first impression your audience gets on your content. It's what pulls them in and make them want to stay. The first few seconds are when viewers decide whether they are going to continue watching or move on to something else. So a hook needs to, one, trigger curiosity, make the audience want more. It needs to connect with them emotionally. It needs to pose a question and it needs to tease a solution. Now, take note of all those four things. It's to trigger curiosity, to create an emotional connection, to trigger curiosity. Now, for instance, if you ask a question, now, what if I tell you that the solution to your problem is so simple? You'll be like, wow, what's he trying to say? That has created a curiosity in you, and that have make you kind of like be emotionally engaged with it. That, okay, like I want to listen to this thing more, and it has posed a problem and introducing a challenge. That's give you have introduced a challenge and also you have teased a solution. So the person will be curious to watch more of the video, and thereby when your retention is high, social media like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram begin to make your video shown to larger audience. So now there are several type of hook, and number one is hook with questions. Now, when you ask a direct question to your viewers, have you ever wondered why some video go viral while others get lost in the noise? That's a very good hook. Now, the one I used for this tutorial was there are millions of videos uploaded every single day, but why do only a few of them go viral? That's a question hook. Like be like, okay, that's true. And now, for instance, I have posed a problem. People that will be interested in watching this tutorial, the people that has issue with their content not going viral. So they're looking forward for the solution. That's the number one type of hook. Now we also have the shock or surprise. Now when you start with an unexpected fact or bold sentence that make the viewers curious to learn more. Now for instance, your video script is missing this one thing that could make it go viral. Now if you want to make this to your advantage, you have to make it loud and clear with the text bold and strong on the screen. So in this area, you are able to captivate them and they're like, okay, what am I missing? That's a shock or a surprise approach in creating a hook. Another one is relatable problem. Now, the third one is relatable problem. And this is where you introduce a common issue that your audience has likely faced and a promising solution. Now, an example of this is you have spent hours editing, but your video still isn't connecting. Here is why. Okay, now in this case, the audience, the people watching your video will be curious that, okay, what's the reason why I've been spending hours editing and despite that, my video is not connecting. Another example is struggling to get your audience attention. It's all come down to one thing. Now we'll be like, what is that thing that I have to do? And in that case, they want to find the answer to the question by continuing watching the video. And that's a very good way for your video to go viral. Another type of hook is the story-based hook. This is when you start with a brief, engaging, and anecdote that draws people in. People love stories and we want to see how it unfolds. So now, an example of this is, imagine uploading a video with zero expectation and waking up to 100k views overnight. What made the difference? That's a very good hook. And that is a story-based hook. They'll be like, oh my God. So if I can learn this secret, I can be able to also grow my video from zero, from maybe few hundreds to hundreds of thousands. Okay, and that is another type of hook. Now, let's talk about what makes a hook, what makes a great hook. Now, the first one is urgency. Give the audience a reason to keep watching. Make it feel like they are missing out if they don't stay with you. This is what the biggest YouTuber does, Mr. Beast. You know how to ignite urgency in his hook. Urgency is very important. Just captivate it as fast as possible. Give them a reason to keep watching the video in few seconds. That's very important. Now, for instance, in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how to make your video unforgettable. Yeah, that's just a straight hook, and that was urgent. Another thing is clarity. Your video must be very clear, and this is something that not only applies to the video, it also applies to your title and even your thumbnail, although I'm not touching those aspects, but yes, it applies to them. Clarity is very important. Human beings don't like stressing themselves. Human beings are quite lazy. So if they see something, they like fun. And if they see something that maybe it's like mathematics or giving them problem, they'll just skip it and move to the next thing. But if your video is as clear as crystal, they will understand it better and they will resonate with it better. So get the hook straight and clear. Now let us talk about some example of clarity. The first one is, here is a simple truth about video editing. That was very clear and simple. Now the second example is, you are just one step away from making your content stand out. Let me show you how. That's very clear and that's very important. Clarity is very much important. And another thing again is the emotion. Emotion is very important. The hook needs to appeal to your audience emotion, whether it's excitement, curiosity, or frustration. It should trigger a reaction. That's a very good example of an emotional. Another thing is to tease the solution. Let your audience know that you're about to provide something valuable. Always tease the solution. That's very important. If your viewers are almost getting bored, always make sure you see the solution. It's just a tactics of letting them see the peak of the solution. Then they want to go and reach it and then continue watching your video. That being said, now the next part we need to focus on, after we have drafted our story, after we are done making a nice script, now the next thing we have to do is voiceover, obviously, yes, which is the next step. So record your own voice, and after voiceover, after we are done with that part, the storytelling, then we need to edit our videos. And now let me tell you something, you don't need to be the best video editor to make great videos. You don't have to be the best editors out there to create videos that stand out. The key is combining simple editing techniques with a bit of creativity, and then boom, your video is in it. With even the most basic tools like cut, trim, and simple motion graphics, you can communicate your message clear and make your content visually engaging. Now remember, your goal isn't to be flashy, it's about clarity and impact. If your edits help tell the story or convey the idea without distracting the viewer, you have succeeded as an editor and as a content creator. With the rise of popular platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, attention span has drastically reduced. In fact, it is said that an average woman attention span is now around 8 seconds, less than that of a squirrel. But what does this mean for video creators like us? It means that keeping viewers engaged is harder than ever. This is where motion graphics become a game changer. Motion graphics are more than just flashy visuals. They help re-engaging and retaining the attention of viewers. When something moves on screen, for instance, especially frequently, it immediately grabs attention. Imagine watching a static image for 10 seconds straight. It's very boring, right? But if there is something new showing up on the screen, moving on the screen, then that will captivate and that will help retain the viewers watching the video. And the longer you keep a static image up, the more attention you leak for your audience. But with motion graphics, you can keep your audience eye on screen by creating a sense of motion, action, and change. It's like hitting the refresh button on their focus. Motion graphics are particularly crucial in the hook of the video. This is the first few seconds where you are trying to convince the viewer, your audience, to stick around. Adding a creativity animation or a sleek text revealing at the beginning of your video can make a huge difference. In this era of short attention span, we must use every tools possible to keep our audience watching, and motion graphics are one of the most important and effective tools for that. Now, as I said earlier, you don't need to be the best video editor before you can make motion graphics. Motion graphics should be simple, clear, and be able to communicate and speak to the viewer. So in this part of the tutorial, we'll learn about some simple tricks we can use in our video to make them outstanding, to make viewers, to make it retain attention overall for it to go viral. In the past 2 days, I made $1,000 all from video editing. How? I landed 2 clients, each paying me about $500. Here's the thing, around 70% of video editors struggle to consistently land high-paying clients, but with the right approach, you can turn your skill into real profit. Keyframing is the backbone of motion graphics. Before you can master motion graphics, before you can understand the concept of motion graphics, you must have some idea about keyframing. Because keyframing is just simply when you are telling an object or an icon to move from a particular position in the screen to another particular position, maybe outside the screen to inside the screen, or maybe from one corner to the screen to another corner of the screen, or maybe you are increasing the scale or reducing the scale. All these things can be done only with the use of keyframe. Before we can move into how to make motion graphics, we must understand the basics of keyframe. We'll talk about how keyframe works and we'll see it in action. We'll talk about them in the first section of this course before moving into the real edit. Our timeline is blank, and for us to input something to the timeline, advisably, the first thing that you should input in your timeline is a black video. It's just like a background for you to add whatever you want to add and make your background. So this is how to get black video. Tap on new and then you see black video here. Just click on it. I guess the width and the height is okay. It's my preference, so I'll just tap on OK and then I will drag it to my timeline. Boom. So with that, we have gotten a black video. You can just extend it depending on your duration. So but I think I'm fine with this because it's just for intro. So now this is our black video, and the next thing we want to do is we want to make a background. Background doesn't need to be very complicated. It doesn't need to be just too jam-packed. Yeah, simple and effective is the key to video editing. So for us to we'll go to the effects panel and we'll type grid. So we'll drag the grid effects to our timeline, and then we have this. Go to the effects control panel and adjust it to your preference. To me, I like the grid to be kind of small and much, so I'll make it to my preference. I guess I'm fine with something like this. Okay, then for more, if I want to edit this further, I can just create a mask. I can just add a feather to it and then I'll mask it. So I will increase the feather of the mask and I will increase the opacity to my taste. So after playing along with it, I arrive with something simple like this. Now, so I've added my mask and I feather my mask. So after feathering it, make it fading gradually and it transitioned from white to dark, so making it like a spotlight effect. So since I've achieved this to my taste, I can just simply search on ramp for ramp in the timeline. Then I will drag my ramp to the video. Then I will scroll to the bottom where I can see the ramp. I love black and red, so I'm going to change this white to red. So I get now this is our ramp and this is our background. To make it better, I can just make it to my taste by making this 30%. Let me give it 20%. Let me make this radial. I guess this is very nice for me. So now I have arrived with my background. If it's not fine by you, you can just keep editing it. You find something that is very suitable for you. But for me, I guess this is nice. So now our next challenge is we want to add transform effect to our clip. So now we're going to go back to our project panel. We are inputting this Premiere Pro logo. We want to firstly practice the basic animation with this particular logo, then before proceeding to creating our title. Now this is Premiere Pro logo, and now we want it to come into the screen. There's a simple basic: don't let an object appear to the screen, let it work its way in. If you want it to appear, then it has to follow. You have to explain how it gets there with use of sound effects. That is if you want it to appear there. Now you can use pop sound effects. Yeah, that works very fine. So now I've gotten my clip, the Premiere Pro logo here. You can add wiggle effects. Yeah, you can. Now though Premiere Pro doesn't have wiggle effects unlike After Effects, but it can be created. It's not something hard. I'm going to add shadow to it to make it look like it's on something. So I will add the drop shadow on it, and I will animate the shadow to my liking. Now I guess it's very cool. No, I've added a shadow to the background of it. Our next challenge is for us to apply the transform effect to it. Now I'll just drag in the transform effect on the clip, and then I will have some property down. So in this case, I can adjust the position, the scale, the opacity, and the shooter angle. Now this is used for the blur. I love the scale of it, so I'll just set the position. I'll adjust the positions for it to be at the center. I will just simply drag in and add keyframe to my video. I want my video to stop here. Do so I'll just simply add the position keyframe and the opacity keyframe here, and then I will drag it to the beginning of my timeline, and I will drag this out of this, and also I'll make the opacity, I'll set it to 0. I will make sure I ease out and ease in. So after easing in and easing out, position and my opacity. To make it better, I have to go to the graph editor and then animate it. In my own case, I love it when the clip starts very fast and then slow down over time. It's just like when a car is moving. The car starts and then it reaches high peak, and after that it slows down before eventually stopping. So that's what we're mimicking now. At the middle, close to the beginning, it will reach its peak. Then while going down, it will start slowing down until it eventually stops. To achieve that, I will just simply drag, I'll click on this icon, and I'll drag it down. So with that, I have a fast beginning. The image will move slow, then fast, before now eventually slowing down over time. There is something we need to take note of, and that is the motion. Now, for instance, if a car is on motion, you will not see it as clearly as when it's on ground. So we have to add motion blur to it to make it mimic that. For us to add motion blur to it, we'll just simply head over to our transform effect, to our shooter angle here. I will increase the shooter angle a bit to make it blurry. So this is how it looks like. Now, the first thing you want to do is we'll drag in the main audio you want to use. The script I used for this particular audio, it's actually a hook. It's a question-based hook, or let me say personal story or value-driven hook. And this is a typical example of an hook. So this person is sharing his own story of how he made $1,000. And now I want to animate this using pure motion graphics. Now I'll firstly impute this to my timeline just by dragging and dropping it, or I can just double click on it, then to show it my source monitor, and I can just drag it. Like either ways is fine. I love the direct dragging because it's very easier and it's faster. But the importance of this source monitor is when you have a video with it, so you can just choose to drag the video alone, drag the audio alone. But since this is just purely audio, there's no need for me to put it here. Another importance of the source monitor is to mark in and out. Maybe you want to just export a little portion of it, you can just enter I starting position and enter O in the end position. But we're not talking about the basis of Premiere Pro, we're talking about the advance of Premiere Pro. So we're going to neglect this part. I will continue to hand. Now, before we can animate this, let us hear what the person said. In the past 2 days, I made $1,000 all from video editing. Wow. I landed 2 clients, each paying me about $500. Here's the thing, around 70% of video editors struggle to consistently land high-paying clients. But with the right approach, you can turn your skill into real profit. Now, that's the audio talking about how he landed clients in just 2 days. He made $1,000, and he's telling us that 70% of video editors are yet to read it, and now he wants to expose to us how he did it successfully. So that's what the audio is all about. So now we'll start animating. By pressing home, I am at the beginning of my timeline. So now the first thing I will do is I would like to animate the first sentence. Now let's replay it. In the past 2 days, I made $1,000 all from video editing. Wow. I landed 2 clients, each paying me about $500. Okay, now he said in the past 2 days. That's the key point. So you can just simply animate that by drawing a circle, tap on your pencil for long, then you see ellipse, click on the ellipse, then draw a circle on your timeline. Then your effects control panel will open. Try and make it perfect as possible. Okay, now since we have drew our circle, so then you have to turn on view, toggle it down, turn off view, then enable the stroke, increase the stroke to your preference. To me, I guess I like it like this. For you to change it back to your selection tool, you can just simply hit V on your keyboard. We have our circle now, so let's animate. If you are using After Effects, this can be done through the use of trim paths. But since we're in Premiere Pro, I want to focus mainly on Premiere Pro. We're going to use something else. So now, what we want to do now, we'll go to the effects panel and then we'll search for clock wipe. So the clock wipe effect, okay, is it here. Then we'll just drag it to the beginning of the clip. Now, so this will animate it as if it is just like the trim path effect in Premiere, in After Effects. Let's play it now. In the past 2 days. Okay, now we can see it clearly ourselves. I guess this is very nice. You can reduce the scale because it's looking kind of big and make it at the center if you like. Yeah, obviously it should be at the center because that is where the viewers want to look at firstly. Now, there's a trick I want to tell you before I proceed. Try and make sure your animation is at the center because human beings are kind of lazy. Looking up here, looking down here, looking up here, looking down here again in seconds distracts them. They love to fix their eye in one place, and that's why people that use their faces, they make sure that they center the camera. It's the rule of 1/3. Just try to make it perfect as possible. Now, since it's at the center, okay, if you are not happy with this speed, you can just simply reduce it here to make it faster or increase to make it longer. But maybe I'll make it a bit shorter to make it faster. Okay, now let's play it. In the past 2 days. Okay, so in the past 2 days. Okay, I'm thinking of maybe I'll change the color. I don't like the white. It's looking kind of basic. Just animate it to your preference here. Okay, now let's play it. Past 2 days. We are missing something important, and that is our background. Though now black is a very good background because black means luxury. Even Imam Ghazi used black a lot in his editing. But just plain black background might not be good enough in many cases. So for us to make it better, we need to import our black video layer to it. And to do that, go back to the project panel, tap on new black video. So now we are going to add the grid effects. Go back to effects panel, search for grid. Now you can see it under generate. You drag the grid effect to the black panel, then you see something like that. Reduce it to your preference. I love the border to be 5, so I'll leave it like that. So I'll reduce this and I'll reduce this as well. Yeah, so I like feathering it, so I'll add a circle and I'll feather the circle to make it look like it blends from white, so it will look like a spotlight effect. It will be kind of lighter at the center and kind of darker at the end. Why I love it is because it will help to concentrate the viewer's eyes to the center. It's just like when a person is displaying on a stage, like maybe when a person is displaying in the night, because it works well in the night, there'll be a light pointing at that person so that the viewers will concentrate on that person. So it's just the same effect, just the same step we're following here. We'll make the hand kind of darker. So let's proceed with that. Increase the feather. Yeah, I guess it's nice. Reduce the opacity, it's looking too sharp. Yeah, nice. I love it. Yeah, now to make it far better, I'll add the ramp effect to it by searching for ramp. Then I'll sit under generate. I'll just drag it to the black video as well, and then yeah, boom, this effect. So I love it to be white and red. I love white and red background or white and blue background. So in this case, let me try blue flow firstly. Yeah, boom. Now this is beautiful. If you are not okay with it, if you want it to be better, you can just simply adjust the color, adjust the end of each ramp and the start of the second ramp. But I'm okay with it. There's one thing I like to do. I like to blend it a bit with our ramp. In the past 2 days. Now to make this complete, we have to input a icon, an hourglass icon to indicate time. This is our hourglass icon indicating time. So I can center it at the middle by adjusting the position, the scale. Yo, I think I'll have to change it back to fit our new. Let's animate our hourglass as well. In the past 2 days. Okay, now I would love to do something here. I would love to make the opacity 0, and then when the thing finish animating, I will increase it back to 100. To do that, I'll just keyframe the opacity, toggle it down, or you can just simply, yeah, I'll keyframe it here at where I want it to stop, and I'll move and I'll make it 0. So in that case, it will look as if it's appearing and yet displaying. Now let's play it and see the effect. Now for us to make this better, we can just simply ease out and ease in. So now we are going to animate our hourglass too, because we make it rotate. The hourglass will be rotating inside the circle. It's completing the circle. The hourglass itself will be rotating. To achieve that, we have to look for the rotation. Now this is the rotation, keyframe the rotation. Okay, let's increase the opacity for this as well by going to the opacity menu. Since we have done for this one, so let's do for this one as well. So both of them will appear at the same time. So I'll keyframe it here, then I'll move back to the beginning, then I'll change it back to 0%. And I'll also ease in and ease out like I did to the previous one. The rotation, set it to 0, take it back in time again, and set it to whatever I want. I don't want the animation to be too complex. I don't want it to rotate very fast. So I just need a slight rotation. So I think I'll make it like this. Now let's play it. If you want to go far by making it far better, you can just simply drag this here. They need to make it look like it, make it start fast and then slow down over time. So now since we have gotten our animation, now it's now time for us to add. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So now we're going to add our text to it. So we're going to go to the text menu and type 2 days. Okay, change the position to the center. And if we don't like the font, we can just simply to graphics panel. So I've added shadow to it. Now I would also like to increase the opacity over time and also make it come in from the ground. So now what we did to the Premiere Pro logo thing, we are going to do it to this 2 days. We'll make it slide in from it until it reach its normal position. Now for us to do that, let's play it again. 2 days. Okay, now since it stops here, right? So we're going to keyframe it here. Keyframe the position and also the opacity. Don't forget, we want to make it thicker over time. So change the opacity to 0. Let's drag this out of the timeline firstly. So now it's out of our timeline. Turn the opacity to 0 as well. So it's now sliding. Now for us to make it good, we'll ease in and ease out. Ease out, then tap on this and select ease in. So now we can also furtherly adjust it by toggling down our position and then make it something like this here. Okay, that's very nice. So it will increase over time. In the past 2 days, it's nice and very cool. So in the past 2 days, okay, nice. Since we have gotten this animation, select everything and backspace. So now let's play it again. In the past 2 days, okay, I made $1,000. Okay, now it said it made $1,000. Now let's do something now. Let's now move all this together, make them smaller, and we'll leave space for us to introduce another thing. So now what we want to do in the next step is that we'll make the money you make to appear in a corner. So this one will leave the screen partially, allowing that one to enter. So now because of that, we have to move all this together to one side of the screen, and then we'll introduce another one to the next side. So now let's do that. The past 2 days, I made 1,000. Now it makes sense. Now this is looking a bit abrupt. It's moved plainly. So now let's make that move in smoothly by easing in and easing out. So by easing out on this, by easing out on this, then we're easing in on this, and then we're easing in on this as well. To make it faster, I can just group them and then tap ease in. Oh yeah, that'll be far faster. So now we have gotten a neat, clean in the past 2 days, I made 1,000. Okay, so we did this for these 2 days. That's why it's looking, or for the rest rather. So we just ease out, then ease in. Let's do that for this one as well. Ease out, and then is in. So now let's play it again. The past 2 days, I made $1,000. $1,000. Now we can just simply, let's go back to editing because we're in the essential graphics panel. So let's go back to our editing panel, and here we'll tap on, then we'll select pen tool here, or let's select rectangle because it will be easier to animate. Throw the rectangle here. Go back to, you can just type V, reduce it a bit, click on the shape layer, then we'll see something called path. For this, keyframe the path here, and then go back in time and change it and make it now very good. So now don't forget to ease in and ease out for. So let's play it again. Past 2 days, I made $1,000. Good. I guess it's a bit slower. Let's make it faster by dragging it closer to the previous one. Then it will be faster. I made $1,000. Okay, I guess a bit longer. So let's make it shorter. Good. Let's hit again. Made 1,000. So we're going to drag. You can just simply copy this. Okay, so for us to scroll up, we're going to click on Control and then scroll. So now let's drag this over here. Said it made edit this further in the essential graphics panel. Or we can just simply toggle this down and then you reach the essential graphics panel. Now what we want to do is we want to put it inside a background. So for us to do that, let's toggle this on and let's give it a background. So since we are dealing with white and blue with black, let's focus on that to make it harmonious. So I made 1,000. Days. I made 1,000 days. I made $1,000. Okay, now that's very good. Now for us to make this, we can do it many ways, depend on your creativity. Now I thought of many things to do now. I want to introduce a guy on a laptop. So I need a PNG, I need an icon for that. So I have to go and get the icon. Since we have gotten the person, now we can, and I have applied the sliding animation already. I also add shape presets. I went to the effects and I search for shape. It's actually a saved preset. All this, the sliding and the shake, they are all saved presets. Now that's the work of presets. Presets make your work faster. Had it been I'm working with presets all this while, when I start this thing on my own, I'll have been done within 10 minutes. Presets make work very fast in Premiere Pro. So I just applied the sliding effect to this. So I don't need to animate anything again. So since I'm sliding, inside the effect, it's a transform effect and it has the position, the scale, and also the motion blur. So it's a very blurry image. And yeah, take note, it consumes your system capacity. So if your system is not so powerful, I will advise you to apply blur at the end of the video before exporting it. So now, since we have successfully added it to our timeline, and now we have added the shake effect. So due to this, it is kind of like wiggling. I think I need to add a very bold image indicating how with question mark, so that if it's bold and if it is bold enough, people will see. There's another tip I have to tell you here that is very important. One of the greatest methods to capture emotion is close-ups, and this is what you notice among films industries. Anytime you want to show emotion, maybe you want to show the expression in someone's face, they give an intense close-up. So you will see the expression and you feel it as well. So we are applying the same here, and we're going to add how. We're going to just go with simple how. Let's type how. So now let's move to the next scene. How. We're going to move now. What we're going to do next is, since this how I've left, we are changing the position of this thing up. So that's me landing to client. What I'll do is this one will go up. The PNG representing me on the PC will move up. So I'll make sure there's two lines moving and pointing to two clients. Those two clients will erupt, and then the money that I gain from each client will be able to be obvious just beside them. So in this case, of it is clear, conveying the message, and yet simple. So now let's proceed. So I'll keyframe it here, move it a bit. I'll add a keyframe here to the position and the scale. Yeah, because I will do the scale definitely for it to fit in this. So now let's animate the position. So I'm moving this up a bit and then the scale as well, making it smaller. Also the position, this is me, right? I'm up here now. So in the case at which I'm coming up, I'll make something erupt alongside with me. So now let's animate to, this time I will prefer us to take the pen to itself. Then we'll draw a pen like this. Wow. I landed. And with the rectangle. After that, we animated these lines, we keyframed it to make them, we used the parts to keyframe them to make them right from them being low to them fully stretched. Since we have adjusted our image and then we have animated two lines by ourselves, so the next thing we need to do here is now to add two PNG, two icons indicating the two clients we worked. So we also need the icon for to indicate clients. So for that, I think I have one here. So I will just simply drag it to the timeline like this. Yeah, good. So we can move it up a bit. And then for us to make it more visible, I guess we should add shadow. To apply shadow to this clip, make sure it is selected and then head over to the effects panel and search for drop shadow. So you can see it here under the perspective, then you just drag it to your clip and then the shadow will appear. So the shadow is kind of black in color, so not making it obvious. So we can just change it to white. I guess white fits in best in this occasion, this situation. Okay, let's make the opacity 100%. So it can be visible. The distance is enough. Now I need to feather it. So I'll adjust the softness to my how I love it, how I want it to be. So I guess it's nice now. So in this case, I'll duplicate this by clicking Alt and dragging it, then right clicking. So in this case, I've successfully duplicated this. After I've animated the person, we added two lines. We animated the lines, and after animating the line, we make it move from. We animated it to so it can be on motion as if it's moving down, pointing to our two icons we're adding now. So this icon, I added drop shadow to it to make it glow and to make it look like it's okay. Now good. So it's now nice. So the next one, I will change the position of it, moving it away and make sure it's being set. So I'll pop it in. And each maybe so I'll just change the opacity so that the pop in can look smooth. So I'll go to the first control panel. I'm held over to the opacity. I'll keyframe it here and do the same for this. Then drag it to the beginning and make them 0. Change this one as well to 0. So now good. Both will pop in nicely. And each pay me about $500. We are adding the $500 to it. So head over to the text panel, right click here and type in $500. Great. So head over to the selection tool, put this at the center. I guess we need to reduce the scale a bit and play along with the position. Okay, this is looking great. Good.
In this case, we just duplicate this to fit in with the second animation. Now we have gotten a new and a neat explanation. Now this is very neat. So now, so how do I want it to it? I will slide it in. So in that case, I'll change the opacity firstly for both. So I'll change the opacity. I'll tap on the opacity button. I'll toggle it on. Then I'll do the same for this one as well. Opacity. I'll move to the beginning of it. Okay, I guess I need to add shadow to this one too. So I'll change the opacity to 0. Then do the same for this one. Change it to 0. Good. So I might like to add shadow to it as well. So to do that, I will head over to the shadow. I can move over to essential graphics, but I can also get it here. Just toggle this text down, then go head over to the shadow or background. No shadow. Yeah, so this is shadow. So the text is blue. Okay, yeah, there is a background, but I would love to make it. Head over to the shadow and select black. Great. So now let's slide it in as well. So to slide it in, I can just simply drag my preset to it. Let's see how it goes. Nice. So I'll drag it to this one as well. Great. So with this one, we have a neat animation. Great. So we have simply done the animation.
Around 70% of video
Okay, yeah, there's something again.
editing. Around 7
So since
editing.
we have to cut this, because it's an animation again. So we are cutting this, we are cutting this, we are cutting this. Just doing this and drag them in. So good. Now since we have a good stop here, now it's now time for us to introduce another character, and that is since you said that around 70% of video editors. So in this case, we are going to look for a group icon. I think I've gotten one, so just drag it to my timeline here. So this is a group icon already. For the sake of this tutorial, we can just use this. Though I've seen some white thing that I would like to eliminate, but still must use it. So now this is the crowd. And now what we do here is we're going to duplicate this by tapping Alt and then dragging it. We've successfully duplicated it. We are changing one to white while the other is black. Okay, so I'll search for lumetri color here. I will look at it here, so I'll drag it to my timeline. So through that, I will change the color of it to. I'm changing the color to white, so I can just correct the color here. Since it's just a basic correction, now we have successfully made this white by increasing the black and the white. So we have a black PNG underneath, and we have the white one over it. So now let's animate this. About 70% of editors. Okay. Let's add the sliding effect to both. Slide up, sliding effects. So I guess we have successfully added it to both. Or blue. Let me make it blue. So I make this one blue. So in this case, I'll bring this blue one above this, and then we have something like this. So we have something nice so far. So let's group this and bring them down a bit. So let's animate it here. We'll firstly head over to the crop effect. Then we are tapping the first layer. So in this case, we'll crop it a bit by dragging the left, then ease out and ease in. So good. So let's do the same for just what we did now. So what I'm going to do for this. Great. I think that's perfect. So now we have successfully achieved our great. So image to it, ourselves speaking to the camera, because yeah, here it's kind of me talking that okay, about 70% I've not done this thing.
And IP incline. But with the right approach, you can turn your skill into real profit.
Now it's me now telling the people that okay, now this is what I done now with the right approach. So I have to talk to the camera directly, telling them that with the right approach I did, you can do it as well. So now we are done with our animation, and this is how to edit viral videos in Premiere Pro. Now, this now leads us to our next step, which is the sound effects. They're very good motion graphics, simple, clear, and good. But without sound effects, it can never be better than this, because sound effects are very crucial. It's the most underrated thing. Sound effects help to convey emotions. But don't forget, in the beginning of this lesson, when we were talking about how to portray emotion, we mentioned sound effects. Now it's like the mixture of many things, of different things like the visual, the editing, sound effect, the music that comes together to bring emotion. We are done with the visual. Our script is good. Now we need to head over to the sound effects. For the sound effects, my favorite sound effect for sliding is whoosh. Yes, this whoosh. So it's my favorite sound effect, and I love using it so much when something sliding and animation. And if you notice me, I use it very much, very much in my editing. So that's my favorite sound effect so far, as long as it's come to something moving in. But if there's something appearing on the screen, I use pop. So I use pop a lot. If something just land in the screen, then pop is the best for that. For text on screen, I use clicks. I use clicks. I can use enter keyboards. So now let me cut the edges. Something like a money sound effect for that. I get it. So you can get it from Pixabay. Yeah, you can get a lot of sound effects from Pixabay. In fact, I use most of my free sound effects from Pixabay. But if you want something more, you can get it from Epidemic Sound is the best place you can get sound effects and music for a video. Outstanding ones, but you have to pay some money for it. But if you want everything free and you're looking for the free and you're looking for everything to be free, Pixabay is by far the best for free.
In the past 2 days, I made $1,000.
They made $1,000. So I need something else to be doing all this.
That's all from video editing. Wow. And
I need pop for that half. Or if I can get something stronger than pop, but I guess pop will do it too.
wow. I landed 2 clients, each paying me.
But that's strong enough to give us that vibe. Let's cut it here. That's if you like. Tap on C and V to cut. End of going to this long process. Let's continue.
Each paying me about
Okay, now I need this again. Click on Alt, then move it to here.
$500. Here's the thing, around 70.
So yeah. So perfect. We have added our sound effects. And now the last and final step is the music. Music is very important as well, because music helps to captivate the emotion. Now, for this, I would like us to go for something inspiring. Finally, we have arrived. Finally, we have arrived at the last most important thing that make our video outstanding. So we have added the sound effects. Before we did that, don't forget, we firstly got the script from ChatGPT. We modify it to when we are satisfied with it, we'll then turn it to voiceover. From voiceover, trimming the spot is very, very important in the video. So when I'm done with that, I animate it. So I'm done with the animation, and now I added sound effect to it. And now finally, we're adding our music to it. So music also helps to captivate emotion here. We will add our music to our video. There is a mistake video editors make, including myself in the past. Yes, I made a mistake a lot here. And that is I added the music. The music is always too much. Now think of it like this. If there is no salt in a food, the food is not sweet, yes. But if the salt is now so much, it won't pays you not to add salt to it. That's how music is. When the music is too much and it now overcome everything, it's become bored. To add the music, make sure that it is just as low as possible. It should not overpower our main voiceover. So now let's add this, and I got it from Pixabay. There are many free sound effects you can get from Pixabay, but if you want advanced, for sure, Epidemic Sound is the option for that. So let's just drag it to our timeline.
In the past 2 days, almost key into real profit.
Okay, now let's stop there because that's where our editing stopped. Okay, so now what you notice about this? This is obviously too loud, cutting and obstructing us from hearing the real information. So we find it difficult to hear what the person is saying. So for this, we definitely need to reduce the volume for this. For that, we're gonna drag this to the level to -30. Now let's hear it. Okay, that's a bit too low. Let's increase it.
I make a neat edit, I make a good video that is captivating, yeah. But guys, let me tell you something. If someone don't click on your video, they can never watch it. This is a common saying said by the biggest YouTuber, Mr. Beast. You need to give them something to click on, then they will click on it, they will enjoy your content, and that's when they can engage with it. And don't forget guys, when people watches on your video for longer time, when you have a high click-to rate, that's the power of your thumbnail. When you have high retention level, that's the power of your content. When you have engagement as well, that's also the power of your content. These are the things that YouTube algorithm look at. They look at how viewers watch your video and how they engage with your video. They are very much important. So now, how can you? Yeah, it's just the power of SEO. SEO is very vital. It is something every successful content creator does, especially on YouTube. They research before making videos. Now, there is something layman content creator does, which I do personally many times. I just realized that, and that thing is, they firstly look for the video that is suitable to them, and then they make content on the video that is suitable to them. But there is something successful YouTubers does, and that is they firstly research the trends before align it with their interest. Now, meaning that they will go and look for what viewers want through the use of SEO. How to rank number one for highly competitive niche. Yeah, I will break all these things down in the last section of the video. So in short, they get their title, they get their content even before drafting the script, and that's a common thing that a typical, or let me say a layman content creator fucked up with. The first thing you have to do is, there's an important tool that is very vital, and that is the vidIQ. vidIQ is a very important tool for YouTubers because you can get many words in vidIQ. If you type a particular word, for example, you see some suggestions. Those suggestions are actually suggestions from YouTube, and they are suggestions based on what people like we search for on YouTube. So all those things are also present in vidIQ. I give you several lists of SEO that are similar to your topic, So now pick the one you think you like best. Pick about 4-5 of the one you think you like best, and then head over to YouTube yourself. When you get to YouTube, I'd advisably try and search for this on and in a private tab. So when you get to a private tab and you search for YouTube, input your keyword as a search volume. When you input your keyword, now you can use Ctrl F to find if other people ask the similar topic like yours. And if you have almost zero, or if you have 0 people that ask the similar topic as yours, meaning that no one has make a content based on that video. And to simply find, you can simply hit Ctrl F on your keyboard and then paste the particular SEO. And if you find the SEO many times, about 50 times, and that is a bad sign. And especially if you're a small channel, because there's something about YouTube favors big channels. Though nowadays small channel can blow up very easily because YouTube cares about engagement than before. But notwithstanding, bigger channels have high tendencies of engagement because they have built trust, they have built reputation with YouTube. So if they release a video now, they have a lot of subscribers that will engage with it, and that is a downside for new content creators, for new YouTubers. So in that case, make sure there is almost zero competition for us to avoid bullying. So if the competition is very low, maybe 0 or 1, and the keyword is highly searched, then that is a great sign that your content will go viral, and then you have gotten a title you can work on. Now YouTube check exactly the SEO you type. They look for hits in each channels. Now if they see it more than 1 or twice in your channel, they want to rank it higher. So now in that case, make sure your title comprises of the SEO itself. Get clients as a graphic designer, that's your keyword. Now you can make something like how to get unlimited clients as a graphic designer. You can change 1 or 2 words there, but make sure the SEO is still complete. And in that case, if someone search for, because how to get clients as a graphic designer is one of, not very high, but yes, it has some quality views it sees every time, because based on my research on YouTube, I've seen that. So if you're a graphic designer, because that's a downside for me, I am a video editor, so I cannot make content on graphic designer because that's not my field. As I said earlier, I must find high research volume and that fits and tallies with my own interest. So that graphic designer doesn't fit my own interest. Though I have some basics about graphic design because I am formerly a graphic designer, but to now make YouTube understand your concept more, your title, after copy your exact title and then post it almost the same in your first line while writing your description. Yes, because if someone type for the particular topic, that same word is what YouTube start looking for, and if it find it like 2 or 3 times in your own, it will want to rank it higher. But don't forget, it's not only SEO that matters, engagement matters a lot, and in that case, big channel have upper hands. That's why you must try and avoid them as much as possible by looking for keyword that has almost 0 competition. If your SEO is good now, and to complete the other parts, look for other SEO that are related to yours, that's the one you picked at first, and just add some words to make it reasonable, then add them together. In that case, you can rank for more than one SEO, but your main keyword will still remain the one used for your title. And with that, you can rank number 1 on YouTube, if depending on how high the search volume is and how low the competition is. That's how you can rank number 1 on YouTube. Believe me, if you rank number 1 on high search keyword, you can get 25, 30, 40 views per hour. Now imagine 1 week, so that's a lot of views. So and don't forget guys, when you have a high click-through rate, that is the work of your thumbnail and your title. When you have high retention and when you have a good engagement, that is the power of your content. So now, even before your content there's something that must go well, and that is your thumbnail and your title. Because no matter how good your content is, if people did not click on the video, they can never discover it. As a content creator now, not a video editor, we need to prioritize thumbnail as well. And your title, make sure it is ranked for SEO. Don't just give it a sweet title. Make sure the title ranks for SEO, and yet give it some thing that people will want to click on it. Let people feel they are missing out on something if they are not clicking on your video. Okay, alright guys, that's the end of our lesson. Yeah, see you next time.